Hey guys, it's Jake here with eTrailer. Today we have a 2024 Nissan Pathfinder, and we're going to be taking a look at, and I'm going to show you some of the cool features on the Airlift 1000 Air Coil Springs. With the Pathfinder being a great family car and a great car to go on trips with, it has a factory roof rack, it has a factory hitch, and it has a huge cargo area in the back. All of that is going to be extra weight added to the vehicle itself, in addition to the 5 passengers that it can haul, as long as you just have people in the front and middle row seats. That's a lot of weight on the back of this car, and it can cause the rear of the car to sag. What these springs are designed to do is they go on the inside of your coil springs, and they're going to help to limit the amount of travel from the back of the vehicle, squatting from all of that weight. This particular owner of this vehicle likes to pull lots of trailers. He's got a couple of different trailers, a boat, a couple jet skis, and then a utility trailer too. That is where he's having this problem, is the back end of his car always sags when he's towing his boat, and he doesn't want that to happen anymore. So he's got these air springs now. It'll help to hold the back of his car up. The benefits of that is that most of your braking power in your vehicle is going to come from your front brakes. Well, when you've got that loose steering feeling, your headlights are pointed up in the air, all of those things are due to the back of the vehicle sagging. So any way that we can help that, we're going to do that. Now let's go ahead and go underneath the vehicle and take a closer look at them. This is what our airbags are going to look like when they're installed. You can see by the shape of their design, they're going to limit the travel of your spring by simply holding on to them from the inside. So you add air to them, and they're going to stiffen the spring up by limiting the travel up and down. You can see where this is going to help you. There's not a whole lot of options out there on the market for solutions for rear end suspension enhancement for vehicles like this that have those rear coil springs. So this is really going to help out this vehicle. These bags are going to have a load carrying capacity of 1,000 pounds and a max PSI rating of 35 PSI. You can run these lines 2 different ways. You can either run them individually, or you can run them through a T to where you just have one air fitting that you have to add and subtract air out of your bags. Me personally, with this being on a Pathfinder and those bags only have a max PSI rating of 35 pounds, they're designed to help. It's not going to be a huge night and day difference like it would be for a set of air helper springs on a truck, because those will actually physically sit between the bottom of the axle and the top of our, or the bottom of our frame and the top of our axle. With this particular one, I would just recommend running them through a T, because that way you know both of your airbags are set up at the same PSI all the time. You hit it with a little shot of air here on the back and you're airing both up. If you were to use airbags like on a truck, the reason why I usually will recommend the separate airlines is for body roll. So when you're towing a super heavy trailer, or if you have a work truck that has a toolbox just on one side loaded up with a couple 100 pounds of stuff, then that makes more sense to run the line separate, so you can put, say, 40 PSI in the one and 50 PSI in the other. With this just being on the back of our Pathfinder, I think just run one valve, that way you can fill them up and empty them super fast. As far as the installation goes, this is definitely an install that if you're handy and you've got a couple of tools at home that you could do from your house. We have it on the lift right now. That's just more so that you guys can see it. We can film it a little bit easier. If really you're just going to need a floor jack to lift up on the hitch, that'll help to give you a little bit more room to work under here. Don't even have to remove the spare tire because it's not in the way. But then you just need a couple of different cutting tools like a razor blade, and then maybe some snips to be able to cut the zip ties and stuff. But other than that, it's really not that difficult of an install. If you don't feel like doing it, or you don't think you can do it even after watching this video, feel free to use our dealer locator on our website to find somebody closest to you that we've confirmed that can do this installation. You call them up, you can get scheduled with them, and they can do this install for you. But with that being said, let's go ahead and show you how we did it. To begin our installation, what you want to do is, if you're doing this from the ground, you want to take a floor jack, put it on the bottom side of your hitch, and lift up on the back of the vehicle. What this does is it's going to relax the spring, opening up the coils so that it makes it a little bit more room for us to get this airbag put into place. And then we're going to take the airbag, and we just need to fold it. So take the little cap that comes on it. You want to fold the bottom first. Try to get it as flat as possible. And then we're going to take the top and fold it. Just like this. And then I'll take our cap, slide it over the end. And this will help to hold this shape. And what you want to do here, I found that it does help to take the airbag, if you can do it. This is pretty difficult, but you want to fold it one more time completely in half. And I may have to pop this out in order to do that. And then we'll take our cap again, slide it in here, just like that. Take our airbag, I'm going to slide it in between these two. And what may end up helping you here in a little bit is we'll take a pry bar and help to pry this down into place. It's just very, very difficult, very tight to get these in. Oh, there we go. Pop it into place, and then what you want to do is reach up in this hole underneath, kind of get everything situated. You're going to eventually want that fitting down at the bottom, but we're going to leave it just like that for now because we've got to put our little ring down in there to help protect the bottom of our bag. Take our puck, and it's got a hole in the bottom. Slide it in. You reach up under here, you can get it lined up. If you have to push up on the airbag a little bit to get this to set down in here, we'll do that. There we go. Now, I'm going to try to take that little end off of there. Now I'm going to take an air hose and get it on the end of this and try to just puff this bag up a little bit. But while you're doing this, you want to constantly be adjusting it so that it fits in our opening nice and centered. Once you get your airbag seated up against that plate that we put in the bottom, or that little spacer down there, you want to repeat that same process on the other side of the vehicle. So on the passenger side, you'll have your exhaust running right in front of the spring pack here. What may help you, if we did it from the lift, so I was able to get my arm in behind here and really get that airbag work down in there. If it helps you, go ahead and take these hangers loose, just pry back here and pop it off here at the top, and maybe one more here and maybe one more up a little bit further. Just loosening that exhaust will give you a little bit of room to move the exhaust out of the way so that you can have a better grip to move these bags into place. We're going to run an air line from each bag. We're going to run it back. What I'm going to do is I'm going to end up teeing these off and just have one Schrader valve at the back so that we can air up both bags at the same time with the same PSI. If we were worried about like a side load carrying capacity, you want to run 2 of those. But with this just being a Pathfinder, I don't think we're going to have extreme issues with the body roll. After all, these are just bags that go on the inside of the coil spring, so we'll go ahead and do that, and then I'll come back and show you. Basically, to start with, you just want to spray a little soapy water on here, and then slide your tube on and run your hoses. Spin those on, and that is going to clamp down on the end so that it squeezes that tube against those barbs. So what I did was I ran both air lines up this way. This one we're going to have to zip tie up, and I'll throw some heat shrink on here, or a heat protectant wrap on there. Ran it up. I ran it inside this little piece of frame rail, teed it off, and then from our tee ran back to the bumper of our vehicle, ran over top of our hitch, and then this last push pin fastener here on the end is holding the bumper fascia piece here to this bracket. I just took that push pin fastener out and then threaded on our Schrader valve. To test out our air fittings, we're going to put about 20 psi into our airbags. There we go. And we're going to take some soapy water. We're going to spray it on each of our fittings. We're going to spray it on the T fitting and then come back here and spray it all over this. You just want to make sure that you don't have any leaks so that your airbags hold your air while you're going down the road. What you want to look for when we're testing for leaks is you want to look for rapidly forming small or large bubbles here at the connection side. And we don't see any on any of our connections. Once you've found no leaks in your system, that's going to do it for the installation. Hopefully this video helped you decide whether or not the Airlift 1000 coil bags are right for you in your 2024 Nissan Pathfinder.